Hi there. Are you a new driver or a new pass and you're just starting your HGV career? Then you need to keep watching, and I will tell you how you can stay legal and also plan your routes and stuff whilst you're hauling goods across the country. Well, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a quality day. My name is Joe, and this is Big Joe Trucking. Now, if you're a new driver or looking to get into the industry, then I hope this information will help highlight the importance of route planning and exactly why it's so important. It's not just about where you're going, but it's also about how long it'll take to get to your destination, whilst including the importance of understanding and staying legal with your tachograph. If you're a new pass, like myself, then you probably have got a good understanding now about what's going on, how to use a tachograph, but there are still things that you're going to make mistakes on. This is fucking stupid. Yes. The reason why I'm saying all this is because this small subject matters a hell of a lot. So, first things first, why is route planning so important?
I suffer from short-term memory loss.
Well, it's not just about avoiding traffic. It's about making sure that you don't run out of your driving hours, you don't break working time rules, you avoid unnecessary delays, and most importantly, prevent you from getting lost, stuck, or worse. And by worse, I'm talking about costing you or the company a lot of money to rectify the mistake. And last but not least, if you're a day driver, such as me, you want to get home in time for tea. Now, as you can imagine, the most important thing is to make sure you're always keeping legal, whilst avoiding any hefty fines, or you can end up losing your license that you've worked so hard to get, or maybe not worked at all, who knows. So you need to break down, first of all, exactly what a tachograph is, what it does, and why is it there. So when it comes to route planning, the first thing that governs you is your tachograph. The tachograph is also known in the industry as a tacho, for short.
It's Taco Tuesday. Now take me for tacos.
Is a little device, or it's not exactly little. It's just it looks like a little radio, an old radio that you have in like cars and stuff. But it's normally factory fitted. It's very rare that anyone has a vehicle without one fitted, and a lot of the time these things record your speed, your distance, rest periods, like the miles covered or kilometers covered or whatever. It's the thing that governs and enforces your rules around, like enforces your driving hours, your rest periods, and is a legal requirement in all commercial vehicles, all public service vehicles. Basically anything that exceeds 3.5 ton. So if your vehicle's over 3.5 ton, I'd be surprised if it doesn't have one. And nowadays, there's a lot of them which are, I think there's actually is it a generation 2 or something, where the DVSA can actually automatically download your information over like Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or something. I don't know, something goes on within the nether that they can see your information. Now, if you're driving a vehicle that has a tacho fitted, then there's some pretty strict rules that you have to stick to, obviously. You can drive up to 9 hours a day. You can extend that to 10 hours twice a week. I think that's the only time you can do it. You can't exceed 56 hours. I believe it's 56 hours driving. And you can't do more than 90 hours over 2 weeks, basically. So if you drove 50 hours in week 1, you can only drive 40 hours in week 2, and then it resets. So for every 2-week period, you can only do 90 hours. And whilst you can also drive 9 hours a day, you must only drive for a maximum of 4.5 hours before you need a 30-minute break. But there's also the working time directive that comes into that, which means for every 6 hours work you do, you need a 15-minute break. So if you start work at 6 o'clock, like I have, by 12 o'clock, I need to at least have a 15-minute break. However, if I've been driving for 4.5 hours, I'll need to take a 45-minute break because I need to combine them. You can only do a 15-minute break first and a 30-minute break after. You cannot do it the other way around. You can't do a 30-minute and then a 15. I believe that's what I was told, and I believe that to be correct. So I hope I'm giving the right information there. If not, you can tell me off in the comments. Now, working hours include all your duties. So whether as soon as you come in and you start doing your vehicle check, your daily walk arounds, you need to make sure you document at least a minimum of a 15-minute walk around the vehicle check at the start of the day. This also includes at the end of the day. That needs to also show in your tacho. If you're loading or unloading, if you're strapping or unstrapping loads, if you're completing paperwork, if you're washing your truck, if you decide that you want to polish the wheels or whatever, that has to be documented. Now, because it's all classified as working. And the reason why this is important is because time adds up very quickly. And if you're not planning this in to your route, you'll find yourself very quickly realizing you are stuck, and you're stuck without any more time, whether it's working time or driving time.
Holy shit! Oh, fuck! God damn it!
Now, when it comes to route planning, there's so many different things you can use at your disposal, such as Google Maps. You can use TrackNav, like I've got. So this is the Garmin 1010 Diesel thingamajiggy. I've also got a PDA. So I know some people are going to be like, why have you got so many? Well, this is one from work. This has got the TomTom system in it. I'm not a massive fan of the TomTom system myself. I prefer the Garmin. It's more reliable normally, except for today. None of it worked today. But also you got Google. So Google's not recommended for truckers or using any trucking, whatever. I don't recommend it at all. The only thing Google is good for is plotting out your where you're going to be going. So if you've got multiple destinations you're going to, put them in, and it gives you a rough idea on how long that run's going to take at that time of day. So if it can factor in some things like traffic and roadworks and all that sort of stuff, but always check it with a truck nav. You can use a paper map, of course. There's an element of people, or a group of people, sorry, that will scream and shout from the rooftops, "Get A to Z! Use a paper map!" Piss off. We're in the 21st century, brother. So here is my paper map. It does everything your paper map does, except it's just digital. Obviously when the battery dies, it's no good. But until then, it does everything that I need. Now, there's a reason why I wanted to talk about this. No. Now, I've got a great example. So a friend of mine, Sean, he's probably watching actually. So hi, Sean. He's a Class 2 driver. He does, I suppose it comes under like multi-drop almost. Delivering like foods to venues. I'm not going to go into too much detail because obviously that's his job. And he does it across the country. It's not just in the southwest or in a certain area. He can travel down to Cornwall, he can travel up north, he can travel across to London. So on this particular occasion, he was driving from Bristol to London, or just outside of London. I think it was like it's near Ascot, I think, or is it Guildford? I can't remember now. However, on this particular day, he already was at 3.5 hours drive time, and he phones me. I'm having a crap day, and I'm thinking, all right, fair enough. Like, what's going on? And he's explaining like he's been given like this extra workload or an extra workload, and he's a bit stressed out because he doesn't think is manageable. So I thought, okay, now immediately I think, well, no offense, but as a driver, you are obviously responsible to double check that. But as he's having a stressful day, no doubt he probably hasn't thought about that.
Really well, looking at everything that you've done. So,
Oh, what a day.
I know, it's all a bit much, isn't it?
So, and as you do, as friends do, and stuff like that, you just help each other out. So I put it into Google just to have a look at roughly what he's got going on, because at the time I think I was waiting to be loaded, so I had time basically. And I put it into Google, and it worked out that from where he was, bear in mind he's already done 3.5 hours driving. From where he was, he had another 9 hours worth of work. Now, as soon as now let that sink in, that was 9 hours worth of commuting before so he would get back to Bristol by the 9th hour. However, he's already done 3.5 hours, so he can't do a 12.5 hour day. So he would have been caught out. So with that information, I think what he needed to do was go from like just outside of Ascot, go across to like South London, to another place around South London, then down towards Brighton, then across back up to, is it Kent or something? I can't remember now. And then obviously get himself back to Bristol because he's a day driver. So luckily he phoned his office, explained, like he's not really sure what's going on. And to be fair to them, they didn't even know that, or I don't think they were aware that actually that workload was put on him at last minute. So they obviously rectified that. But the reason why I'm essentially bringing that up is because of how important it is to plan your routes. So I myself, like today's a great example. I've gone to a site that I've never been before, and bearing in mind I got 3 sat navs.
The tool most important to humanity's survival was
sat nav, as you know, like my Garmin. I got the work one, and I got my Google. So I always got all 3 running.
Gay!
I don't know why. I always got Google running just because I like to, maybe see like the live updates that come through, like traffic. Even though my Garmin, I don't really know why I have all three on. It's just habit, I think. But anyway, so where I was going today, I had a look at the access. Access looked great on the route, but I made the mistake of not looking at alternative directions coming in. And this is why even like I've been driving coming up to a year now. And I will never turn around and say that I am amazing at, all this sort of stuff. People can still make the simplest mistakes. And I phoned the office. Excuse my French, but I'm on a fucking mare trying to find this place. No way I can make some of the turns because where I am, you're pretty much on like a cliff edge throughout the entire journey. I don't even know how they managed to find a flat enough space to build this industrial estate, but they did. And but everything's on cliff edges. The roads are narrow. There's cars parked everywhere. Bear in mind, there's an A road, and it proved a little bit challenging as you do. But I phoned the office. We had a bit of a laugh together because obviously I fucked up, and eventually I managed to find a place where I can turn around. That was the hardest bit. Everything thereafter, it kind of fell into place because I stopped, I gathered it together, and I looked at an alternative route. But when it comes to being a driver, route planning is everything. So don't go about your day, or don't start your day without planning. And realistically, I'm just hoping that that's something that you can really take away from this. So know your total route, build in or factor in your brakes. That's the most important thing. Check to make sure you got enough time, your drive time, and making sure you're legal. But always, always, always double, triple check. Do not leave your yard until you know exactly where you're going, what you're doing, and how to get there. Now, if you're serious about being a professional driver, then obviously route planning isn't optional. It's part of the job. So get into the habit early, save your time, save your money, and especially the stress. And by save your money, I mean invest in a good truck nav, or just invest in equipment. It will save you money in the long run because you'll be able to keep your job. But anyway, that's it for this one. I hope you find this helpful. If you did like the video, do the usual stuff and give it a thumbs up, give it a comment, like, etc. And just remember to plan ahead. And I will catch you all soon. Peace.